Oh, Otho Gold here today. The idiom of the day is keep your pants on. Some of you may have heard hold your pants back when we were growing up. But all of you know we use lots of idioms in our language. But hold your pants or keep your pants on, an idiom is something where the words themselves don't have clear meaning. Because it usually when you string those words together, it means something entirely different. But I want to tell you about a story, something that happened to Otho. And it has to do with pants now. Now, I happened to be visiting my friend Jay at that little Louisiana college I've told you about before one weekend. And he and all his buddies, now he was in the area of behavioral sciences. That meant psychology, special education, and counseling. They were all in the same department. And this was the most unusual group of men, maybe 2 women in the department, but lots of guys who were all about the same age, and they were just wild as bucks. They were always getting into some kind of mischief. But they asked me to go down to New Orleans with them that weekend. And they were going to go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse one night. Well, one of the guests that they took along was a little lady from the State Department of Education. She was about the same age as all these guys. And she was just enamored being around all that intellect. These guys were just wild as anyone could ever imagine, and fun to be around. Just great conversationalists, telling jokes and all. And old Otho, he was sitting in the very back of this 5-seater bus, just listening to all of that. And so somewhere along the way, maybe about around Baton Rouge as we were driving down, old Jay leaned over and he said, "Why don't you take your pants off? She might really like that." Well, Otho just kind of scratched his head and thought, well, he should know. She's in the State Department of Education, and she likes all these guys. So Otho slips his pants off, and he hands his pants to Jay. Well, Jay passes them up to the seat in front of him, and he goes on up to the next seat, and suddenly it's all the way up to the front of the bus. And that little lady from the State Department, she said, "Oh, my gosh! Oh, my! Someone is taking their pants off." Everyone laughed, and we talked about it. Otho just sat there in his underwear, all the way up to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. They parked right out in front, and they proceeded to get off the bus. And suddenly, Otho looked around. No one was on the bus, and he's sitting there in his underwear. And I looked around. They didn't leave my pants. They carried my pants into Ruth's Chris with them and left me in the bus. Now, you can imagine what a dilemma I was in, because Otho is, he's Mr. Natural sometimes. He doesn't mind taking his clothes off in different places, but he wasn't going to walk off a bus in the buff and go into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse wearing his underwear. So he just sat there. He just sat and sat and sat. And I don't know, after 30 minutes later, old Jay came out holding his pants. He had this big smile on his face. And he threw those pants into the bus and he said, "Y'all, you can come on in now." But they'd been in there laughing about old Otho stuck on the bus in his underwear. They were just going to leave him out there and let him worry about it. Well, that's all that there was to that story. Otho got his pants on, went on in, had a real nice butter-cooked steak that they fixed there at Ruth's Chris. But the moral of that story is you do keep your pants on, because you never know what the consequences are going to be around your friend if you take those pants off. Y'all have a good day.